Now, last year, I created a video on different plugins and tools for WordPress that I think you should keep an eye on in 2026. Well, today we're going to go back and revisit one of those, and a key new feature has been introduced into the free version of the plugin. It's quite a key feature. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about FluentCart. Now, FluentCart is a alternative to tools like WooCommerce and so on, and they've recently released the new feature for advanced variations. Now, that might not sound particularly exciting, but variations when it comes to products is an important part of any kind of e-commerce tool. So I'm going to take you through how this works and give you an overview of how the whole process is set up and configured and what it looks like on the front end of your site. But just bear in mind, this is available in the absolutely free version. It's not locked behind the paywall. So all applicable links in the description down below so you can check it out for yourself. Now, I have a test site set up, and that's what we're going to use for this example. So we're going to come over into FluentCart. Now, I've got the Pro version installed, but like I say, this is also available in exactly the same format I'll show you in the free version. So we're going to come down and we're going to take a look at the products option. This will show you all the different products I've got currently set up on my test store. And as you can see, it tells us we've got some advanced variations here. We've got some simple variations. You may have simple products. So we're going to take an example product like these sleek black and white trainers. And even though it's a simple variation, we're going to just convert it over to an advanced variation so you can see what this does. So let's open this up. Scroll down. Now, if you don't know what variations are, they're basically different combinations of different features when it comes to a product. For example, let's stick with the shoes we've got here. You could have shoes in a different size, so 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and so on. You could also have them in different colors. That's pretty simple, but you could have them in different colors and different sizes, making a much more comprehensive set of variations. So they could come in blue, red, and green, and each one of those could come in different sizes. So we need to have a way of handling that. That's where advanced variations comes in. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch this over to an advanced variation. Now, generally, you probably wouldn't do this. You'd come in, create a new product, and set it to be advanced variations. So the warning we're going to get here that says you're going to lose those simple variations won't apply if you have a brand new product. But if you are converting, you can see you'll be prompted and you have to type in proceed and it'll remove them. So you say, yes, let's delete those. Now we have no variations set up. So what can we do here? Well, you can see we've got other options like sizes and color. Let's click and open this up, and we've got a bunch of different variations that have already been configured for us. So let's type in the option name, and you can see we've got things like color, size, material, storage, and so on. So for this example, let's just say we want to set different colors for our different products. We'll choose that from the list, and then we've got our option values, and you can see we've got several different options here. And all we need to do now is add in what we want. If we want to add new values in, we can do that here as well. So let's keep this really simple and say red, blue, and green. Okay, so we now set that up. So if we hit save, we will now create variations. So let's click save. And then it'll update, and there's our variation. So this is still a very simple set of variations. We can still do things like add images inside here, so we can add in from a URL from our gallery and so on, add media. So you can see we can choose our options from any media uploaded, or we can upload new media ourselves. Let's close that down though, and let's cancel this, because this is a really simple example. It gets far more complicated when you add additional variations in. So now let's go and add a new variation. So we'll say add more. And now we're going to come in, choose the option, and we're going to say we want to set size. Choose our sizes. Now, obviously, this doesn't equate to shoes, but it doesn't matter. It's an example. So say small, medium, and large, and we'll go for extra large as well. So now we've got combinations of colors and sizes together. So instead of having 3 simple variations, we'll now have an awful lot more. So let's say save. That will now do all the calculations behind the scenes for us. And now you can see we have an awful lot more different variations. So if we expand any of these, you can see our red has 4 variants: small, medium, large, extra large. So does our blue, so does our green. And again, you can add more things here. So depending on what you're potentially selling, we'll add in additional options. But the fact this is all done automatically and in a very simple fashion means that creating variations isn't particularly complicated. And obviously, you could also take advantage of the new MCP options that have been added into FluentCart. We'll take a look at that in a different video, but bear that in mind when you're creating these variations. You could take advantage of AI to speed up a lot of this process as well. So let's expand one of these out and see what's inside here. You can see there's our different variations, and we can do things like add prices in, comparative prices, and we can edit these and bring out an awful lot more options from the right-hand side. So let's say, for example, we wanted to add some SKU codes or SKU codes. Now, SKU codes, if you don't know, are unique codes that are associated with every single product. And every variation is technically its own product, because a small red shoe should have a different code to a medium red shoe and so on. Otherwise, things get confusing. So what you can do is you can just drop this down and you can type in your SKU code, or you can auto-generate one from here. And you see, there it's created it for us. We'll hit update, and now we have that option set up. So you can see if we scroll down, there's our SKU code in our inventory management section, and that's associated with our red small. Now, what we can also do here is come in and set up the various different options. So let's say we've got different prices for the small, medium, and large. Well, let's just pop those prices in. We'll say $49.99, $59.99, and then we'll just do the other two at $69.99. You want to do compare prices, you can obviously drop those in there, and you want to create images, you can do a master image, or you can click on the variations, add media. We'll choose the red shoes from here. It doesn't really matter, again, what we're choosing. It's just an example. Do the same thing again here. Add our media. Choose that from the list and carry on doing just that. And like I say, if you want to make changes here, you absolutely can do. You can come in and you can edit the different variations here. And we've got little dots. We can copy the variation, create direct checkouts. So if you wanted to share this via social media and so on, you've got those options here. So there's more options inside this panel than just what you see here in the sort of quick editing area. But you can see just how quick and easy it is to start to create variations and apply those. Let's update this and let's go and preview this on the front end of our site. Now, don't pay any attention to the look of this. I've basically just been messing around. It's this main section here in the middle is what we're focusing on. And as you can see, we can choose between your red, your blue, and your green. You've got your sizes, and you'll see we can choose what we want from the list there, and the price updates in real time underneath. So you can see there's our 59, 69, and 69 for the different sizes. So it's very easy to set this up. We can manage stock. You can see the SKU codes are here, the pricing structures here, and a very simple way of being able to manage and control these different variations. So with minimal effort, you can easily create these complex variations inside the dashboard for your products. If you take a look then at the inventory management, you can see we can do things like change the stock levels here. So we can adjust these and say, actually, we've got more in stock than this. So we could adjust this and say, add another 9 on there. You can see it apply. Click, and we've got it updated. So that's updated. Now, I've been speaking to Jewel from WP Manage Ninja because there's a couple of things here that kind of confused me a little bit when I was using this. These look like areas we can edit, but we can't. They're just literally pre-populated inside the advanced variations. So I've spoken to Jewel, and this is something that they're going to look into. I'm not sure how this is going to work because the 3 we have here, the available, on hold, and delivered, are calculated based upon orders, so they can't really change by us making changes here. But things like the title and the SKU code, I'd like to see those to be editable. So hopefully that's something we will see integrated in one of the next releases. Like I said, I spoke to Jewel about this, one of the developers behind it, and he was very receptive to what I said about it. So that's basically how you handle the variations and how easy it is to set those up here. So that's a very brief overview of how you handle the different variations using FluentCart. Like I said several times in this video, this is an absolutely free feature, and I think it's great to see this inside there because variations are a very important part of lots of different sort of e-commerce website. So great to see that. As always, all applicable links are in the description down below. If you want to check out more videos on how to use FluentCart, you can check out the playlist that'll be down there as well. As always, my name is Paul C. This is WPTuts, and until next time, take care.